And welcome back to Talk of Alabama. You know, spring will be here before we know it. We can feel that warm weather, the sunshine, especially here in the South. We're ready for spring. But when you think about spring cleaning, have you thought about spring cleaning with your finances? Well, we've got a local author joining us this morning, Steve Siebold. Interesting. You've written a book, Steve, and it's talking and really teaching people about finances, right?
Exactly. Teaching them the things we never learned in school, whether in high school, college, university. These are the basics of personal finance that every citizen needs to know.
Why do you think spring cleaning our finances is so important?
Well, I think it's a really good time to look at all the wasteful spending that most of us do, whether we're buying things on Amazon too late at night or we have subscriptions to newspapers and magazines that we never read. It's amazing how many when you really start scouring your accounts, it's amazing how much wasteful spending most of us have.
Yeah, that's right. Or, I mean, I'll do things where I'll buy something for my kids and then I'm like, oh, they already have one of those, but I had stuck it away or put it away and forgot they had it. And then you end up with duplicates of things. So let's talk about being, I guess, not overwhelmed, because I think when you think about it, a lot of people at home now are thinking, gosh, I would like to do some spring cleaning with my finances, but that just seems like so much work and I don't have the time or energy to do it. What would you say?
I would say do one thing at a time. Maybe spend one day doing your subscriptions. You know, internet subscriptions or newspaper, magazines, all the different subscriptions that we all seem to have, and take those out one day or 2 days, or maybe even for a week. And then go on to something else. Go on and look at your all the different things that you're spending money on your accounts and just take it one step at a time. Take the whole spring to do it. That's fine.
That's a good point. We've got some time on our hands. What about reviewing our insurance policies? Is that part of spring cleaning? Yeah,
insurance is such an important thing. And sometimes you can be overpaying not because of any other reason, then your life changes. You have different needs at different times. And I think most of us just stick policies in our folders and our file drawers, and we kind of leave them sit there because it's not real fun to review those things. But a lot of times you can really recoup a lot of money just because you no longer have a need for that particular policy.
You know, a good example of that for our women watching, you know, when you're in the childbirthing age and you're having babies, you might have one insurance policy because you know you're going to be spending a ton of time and money at doctor's appointments, at the hospital, giving birth. And then once you're done having kids, you might want to alter that policy, that health insurance policy, where you're paying less, but you don't, you're in a different season of life would be an example of that. Should some people do this on their own, or should they seek help doing this when it comes to financially spring cleaning?
What I would do on your own is get educated. That's why my co-author Tom Matthews and I wrote this book. So literally we wrote this so a 14-year-old kid could understand this book. So most of us, the rest of us, so to speak, can understand this. And so educate yourself, on your own. But then meet with a financial professional to walk you through, because you're gonna save a lot of money doing that.
And what about goals? If some people at home now, a lot of people didn't travel last year, and so they had money that they poured into maybe home improvement or other things, and now they're thinking, okay, we want to travel, we want to get to a beach or on an airplane somewhere, anywhere but the same four walls we're looking at now. Should we be kind of budgeting for that, or should we be kind of thinking about how we're going to kind of handle these expenses that we might incur in 2021 that we didn't necessarily have in 2020?
I would take the savings that you have on all the spring cleaning. When you say, okay, I've canceled this, I'm not going to pay for this anymore. Take all that savings and then go on a trip. But don't just pay for the trip out of pocket. We're still in pretty uncertain times financially with COVID and other things going on. So I'd be careful right now. A little conservative.
And goals. We should all have some financial goals, right?
Absolutely. Goals are a really great thing. And I would make it a goal, first of all, get out of debt. Get out of as much debt as you can, bad debt, in other words, debt you can't write off, in other words, on your taxes. And so do that first, and then start, other savings goals and that type of thing.
Okay. If people want to learn more about the book, remind everybody the name of it and where they can get it.
It's called How Money Works. Stop Being a Sucker. It's at Amazon.com or HowMoneyWorks.com.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Nicole.
Of course, we've got to take a quick commercial break, but more Talk of Alabama just around the corner. Keep it right here on ABC 3340.